What if I told you there's a perspective that says humanity was originally given a kingdom, an entire world to rule? Today, we're exploring this really powerful story from our source material. It's a story of a crown that was given, a kingdom that was lost, and the absolutely incredible price that was paid to buy it all back. I mean, that question is really at the heart of what we're talking about today. The whole narrative we're looking at is built on this grand idea of a dominion given, a crown forfeited, and an inheritance that had to be redeemed. It kind of frames the whole gap between what humanity was meant to be and the world we actually see around us.
So, to really get a handle on what was lost, we've got to go back to the beginning. According to this text, humanity's original job wasn't just to, exist on Earth, it was to rule it.
And notice the specific words here: crowned with glory and honor. From this perspective, that's not just some nice poetry. No, it's describing a literal royal status, a position of real authority, of kingship over all of creation. This passage right here, it's absolutely central to the whole idea. It paints this incredible picture of humanity being set up as the ruler over, well, everything. The text says, all things were put under his feet. So, in effect, man was the king of this world. But, one look at the world around us tells you that this state of complete dominion isn't our reality right now. Something clearly changed. So, what happened to that kingdom? How was it lost? And here, the text directly addresses that disconnect between the original design and what we see today. The reason for this broken authority, it argues, boils down to a single, pivotal event: the fall of man. This slide really just lays it all out. That original glory and honor was lost. And this perspective connects that loss directly to sin, explaining that through sin, humanity came short of that glory, basically forfeiting both the crown and the kingdom that went with it. Okay, so if the kingdom and the glory were lost, how could they possibly be restored? Is that just it? Well, no. And this brings us to this huge concept of redemption. Redemption is presented with this simple but really powerful idea: to buy back what was lost. The argument is that humanity's position and inheritance couldn't just be forgiven. They had to be legally purchased back, reacquired. Now, the text really emphasizes that the consequence of the fall, the curse, it wasn't just on humanity. It actually extended to the very kingdom they were supposed to rule. The earth itself, the seat of their dominion, became cursed. And this is where the whole narrative makes a totally fascinating connection. It takes this agricultural curse, the thorns and thistles literally springing from the ground, and links it to one of the most powerful symbols in all of history. This is the turning point. The argument here is that Christ didn't just bear the curse metaphorically. He physically wore the symbol of the cursed earth on his head. By wearing that crown of thorns, he was, in a very real sense, taking the full weight of the curse for both humanity and its lost kingdom. So what this creates is this powerful parallel, a direct reversal of events. The dominion that was lost by the first man, Adam, was won back by the second man, Christ Jesus. The failure of one was redeemed by the sacrifice of the other. It's a perfect bookend. So how does this all wrap up? Well, it all builds to the final outcome, the restoration of that original inheritance, what the text calls the purchased possession. This sequence here lays out the entire story arc we've just walked through. You go from a glorious beginning, through a tragic loss, to a costly redemption, and then, finally, a complete restoration. It presents this full circle of purpose and inheritance. And this brings us to the ultimate point of the whole narrative. The goal of redemption, in this view, isn't just some abstract spiritual thing. It's about restoring a physical kingdom, the renewed earth itself, which is called the First Dominion. The narrative wraps up by framing this whole restoration not as some new plan, not a plan B, but as the ultimate fulfillment of the original purpose, a kingdom prepared, like the quote says, from the foundation of the world. So we've traced this incredible theological arc: a crown of glory lost, a crown of thorns worn, and a kingdom purchased back. The final question this perspective leaves us with is a really profound one. What does it truly mean to be an heir to a world made new?